Plaintiff Nakia Thompson has 2 teenage children with the defendant. And after their daughter was born, the defendant became a heroin addict. Nakia claims the defendant often stole to support his drug habit and even stole his newborn baby's formula and sold it for drug money. She's suing her ex today for back child support. Defendant Theodore Manigo says he never intended to be a deadbeat dad, but that's exactly what he turned into as a result of his drug use. Theodore admits that he's never been to rehab, but says he desperately wants to get his life in order.
Start with you.
I have 2 kids with Mr. Manigo, ages 17 and 16. After the birth of my daughter, Theodore started using drugs. His whole attitude changed. Total different person.
When was that?
In 2000.
Okay.
If you would have met Theodore before he started using drugs, he a best friend that anybody would want to have.
What type of drugs?
Heroin. Recently, my daughter found him in my backyard getting high. She told me. I said something to him, found the needle on my porch. Theodore lies to my kids, makes false promises to them, and one who holds the bag is me at the end of when it all boils down, because if you have a father that tells you that he's gonna be there and come and take you out and then never shows up. Theodore has stolen my son's Xbox in 2008.
That wasn't true.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You stole his Xbox.
No, I did not.
And you stole Toddy's formula and sold it to the corner store.
That's not true.
Yes, you did.
I promise you that's not
yes,
true.
You
that
did.
never happened to kid, and you know it's
Judge
not.
Mathis?
You know that's a lie.
Stole their formula?
Stole my newborn's formula. She was 3 weeks old.
That's a lie.
He stole I wish my mother was alive to this day, Theo. I wish she was alive to this day. Because she will be right here, and you brought formula to her house. Because I went over there, and when she seen you, she flipped on you. So don't even go there. Don't get up here. Don't get up here and try to flip the
with your baby's daddy that I didn't take.
Yeah, he punched you in your face.
That's right, and I went to store and I stole some so I could replace it, but I didn't take nothing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it.
And then you stole your sister's PlayStation. Okay. And I wish she was alive to this day, and she will be right here with me too.
He ever been to rehab?
Several times.
How many?
I think about 3.
Sir, let me hear from you.
Well, Your Honor, I've watched your show over the years, and it was never my intention to be the fathers that you've had on your show. But unfortunately, due to me using drugs and being homeless and being incarcerated, I've turned into just that.
After the birth of my daughter, Theodore started using drugs. His whole attitude changed. Total different person.
When was that?
In 2000.
Plaintiff Nakia Thompson has 2 children with the defendant, and she claims after the birth of their daughter, the defendant became addicted to heroin.
How'd you get on drugs, sir? Heroin.
Somebody told me it was something that it wasn't. Before I knew it, I was addicted to it.
You've only been to rehab 3 times?
I've never actually been to rehab. I've been to detox.
Why haven't you been to rehab?
Just because I just never really gone. I've tried and it just never make it to that point.
What were you in jail for?
Petty larceny.
How long?
Various times, no more than a few months.
How many times?
Oh God, at least 17, 18.
And not one of those judges out of 17 times sentenced you to long-term inpatient treatment?
No, sir.
Yeah, they don't care about you.
They don't.
Of course, you don't care about yourself, but certainly those judges don't give a doggone about you.
I do care about myself, Your Honor.
I don't want to hear all that. They'll save the sob story for your kids. But I'm just very disappointed in the judicial system that doesn't refer you to drug, or mandate, require you to go to drug treatment before sending you back out here with the inability to even provide for your kids. You would think they would think enough of your kids, the judges, to say, hey, go to mandatory drug rehab. It's just sad and unfortunate. There's so many people on heroin today. I don't know what to say, ma'am. Jail doesn't do him any good. I was going to say, if you talk to the child support services about having him jailed. But what did you do when you were jailed? You just went cold turkey?
Yes.
And without any rehab, that doesn't help. You just come right back out and do the same thing. That's what rehabilitation is for, to dig deeper into your drug problem and give you coping skills with your addiction. But if you just go in, like you say, a couple of months, you dry out and detox, and a lot of times they don't even detox. They got just as much heroin in prison as they do on the street. We go into treatment inpatient if we get you in one long term.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do. How many children you have, ma'am?
I have 3, but I have 2 with Theo.
Where you live now? Who you living with?
I'm homeless currently.
All right, so you won't be homeless long, because we're gonna make sure you get into inpatient treatment. I'm gonna recommend and see if we can get you in one that lasts for 6 months. Those are the ones I've seen work best. So that's what I'm going to seek for you. All right, judgment for the plaintiff in the meantime. Have a good day.
Alexis, real talk, right? We've talked over the past few days, right? Honestly, right?
No.
I haven't tried to talk to you over the past few days. We haven't talked, we haven't laughed a few times, right? You know, like, listen, I haven't told you I love you and that you're the most beautiful girl in the world, and you turn into a beautiful young lady. I haven't told you none of that over the past few days. Be honest, if you're honest.
That has nothing to do with that.
I know, and I'm telling you right now that I'm sorry, and I will go to rehab, and I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna get better.
I just really want him to get his life right and do what he needs to do for his kids, not just the 2 we have, but for your other kids too. They don't deserve this, Theo. And we go way back, more than just having kids together. We used to be cool and we could talk about anything. But with the way you are now, we can't do that anymore.